Hey, what up everyone? Corey Taylor here from Slipknot and Stone Sour, and you are watching Loudwire.
One thing about the new album I wanted to ask is that when the negative one came out, a lot of people assumed that it was about Joey. The term negative, and because his number in Slipknot was 1, lots of different things. And to you, when people were assuming that, even though there are, obviously references to Satan, in the song.
Sure.
What was your reaction to, I think, what was kind of like a wave of people who kind of had the same thought?
I think somebody will, there's a handful of people who have original ideas, and then there are millions of people who will pick up that original idea and just copy and paste it and put it all over the place. A lot of people aren't brave enough to have their own opinion. So even though that opinion was incorrect, I could see how something like that could snowball and really roll downhill and just start picking up people and then getting louder and louder and louder. And it honestly wasn't until I came out and said something that people started looking at it in a different light, And honestly, I didn't even realize that you could have read it that way. Like, it was the furthest thing on my mind because, none of the songs on there are about Joey.
Yeah.
All of the songs in there are about the band in general, sometimes about myself, but also sometimes about just what we were going through, when it came to Paul and his death.
Yes.
So for me, it was about the negative one and me, which, those two people fighting those sides of yourself where there's a part of you that just really misses your friend, and then there's the part of you that is so mad at your friend that it makes it hard for you to feel empathy, which is very natural, especially when you lose someone the way we lost Paul.
Yes.
So it's dealing with very human issues, but it can go either way. It can go negative, it can go positive, but I can see where people would make that distinction, but it's incorrect.
Being angry because of the way that he passed away, I've experienced that too. And there's definitely that feeling of like, I know it was for me, it was like, that's like, what the hell did you do that for, dude? Yeah. So, was that kind of the feeling you were trying to put into that song?
A little bit, yeah. With Paul, honestly, it was, not to get too much into it, but it was heart failure more than it was anything else.
Okay,
Obviously, it was exacerbated by the things that he was doing, but what, ultimately the cause of his death was heart failure. So for me, it was like, there's a part of you that understands that and hears it, and understands the reality of it. But then there's the other part of it that is just like, God damn it.
Yeah.
If we had just worked together, if you could have just stayed healthy, if you could, it's a lot of ifs that will fucking keep you awake at night and drive you absolutely insane. So, but it's part of the process. It's part of the grieving process. You kind of have to snake your way through a landmine, a landfield of emotions before you can kind of get to a point where you take a deep breath and go, okay, now what? And now what was us going into the studio.